Hey guys, this is my weekly report for May 8th, and just letting you know, like yesterday, I'm out here at Beressa. This is the 20-foot advantage duckworth that Gone Fishing Marine sponsors me. First day out, and we're out here at Beressa catching. We caught salmon, kokanee, trout, and crappie. Check this out. And we lost more than we caught. We got a load, but we lost a lot of them today. It just kept coming undone. I don't know what the problem was. But anyway, other things going on. I've been doing a lot of striper fishing. I was down over there on the San Joaquin off a 3 mile. And on last Thursday and Friday, I had over 120 fish in the boat. And then I went bass fishing the other day and had a 21-pound limit. So I've been doing really well. Been catching a lot of fish. This is the time of the year that basically you could go out and catch a lot of fish no matter what you're going to go after. So anyway, other things going on. The ocean, haven't heard too much on the bluefin. Not too many guys have been able to get out because of the weather. And also the 50 Phantom rock fishing is closed. So the shallow water, the 20 Phantoms opened up. So you guys could go out of Bodega Bay or hook up with Rick Powers or fish off the bank, surf fishing. You could do anything now because the shallow water is open. Other than that, you come back up inside. Dungeness crab's still open too. Right now, up toward down south toward Monterey, it's closed. But this region over here in San Francisco, it's still open. Always check your regulations, and crab season usually runs until June. But if the whales migrate on down, then they'll close it. Other than that, come back inside the bay. It's prime time for halibut fishing, but it's been really tough because we've been having all these minus tides. We got big tides. Those halibut usually dig in the sand. They don't feed. But the striper fishing is off the hook. All these party boats, the 6-packs, those guys are catching the heck out of them. So all week, this last week, it was all real big tides. So the halibut fishing was really slow, but they were catching limits of stripers pretty easy. So yesterday it was kind of a slow tide, or a couple of days ago now, and the tide was regular back to normal. And I saw J. Lowe's did a report. He had 4 guys on his boat. They had 8 stripers, and they all looked pretty nice. And that probably looked like around 5 to 10 pound range. And they also had their limit of halibut. So he had a limit of stripers and limited halibut. The halibut looked really nice. They looked like they were in that 10 to 15 pound class. So when that tide slowed up, those halibut bit. But then again, this next coming week, if you look at your tide charts, it's a minus tide, so the water's going to be going hecka fast. So halibut's going to get tough. The striper fishing will pick up. Plus, you got all these stripers that are returning to the bay now that are spawned out, and they're going to go on a feeding rampage. So stripers in the bay for the next month is going to be just crazy off the hook. So anyway, coming back inside. Well, anyway, like if you guys are looking at something, that you want to go out, you don't want to take your boat, and you want to hook up, look up Jay Lopes, Ricky Acosta, Steve Mitchell, and Cal Don, with Jane Smith. Those are your top-notch guys that'll get you the halibut and the stripers. Okay, so striper season overall up in Calusa. I heard a lot of there's still fish there, but a lot of them have spawned out and already started to return. And when they start to return, they come down, they'll feed for a little while, and then they'll leave. So like I could go out one day and catch them and have a really good day, and then next day I go back and they're gone. They take off pretty fast. They head downstream. But I think there's so many fish in the system, like a lot of those fish that they're catching in the bay, and all the 120 fish I caught last week, my boat inside was white. So they're just milking all over the place. So those fish are going to spawn in Rio Vista. And they probably haven't done it yet because, we keep getting these little cold spells. But a lot of those fish in the bay haven't even come up. So they'll come up in the Rio Vista. So you're going to have some good action. I think the bulk of the ones that usually go up north, they're already there and gone. So all the rest of these fish are going to come in. They're going to stay around Rio Vista, do their thing, and then they'll head out in the bay. Usually by July, in middle of June, July, the stripers will be out there on the rock piles and they'll head back out in the ocean. I know you could go striper fishing in the Sac metro area, which I would call anywhere from maybe the mouth of the Feather all the way down to Walnut Grove. And I'll bet you could go out there and anchor. You know, I've been wanting to do that, but you know, I'm like this boat I got now. It's going to be coming here to Beressa until I don't want to come here no more. But I can't take it into the river because if I do, then I have to have it decontaminated again. So every time I go somewhere else besides Berryessa, it costs me $100. So right now I'm just gonna leave it here until these fish quit biting. But we had a really good bite today, so you know I'm gonna want to come back here for a little while. But you could go bait fishing in the river. I did a video. You could always look at that, and you know you're gonna anchor up in anywhere from 8 to 15 feet of water, and you want to use pow worms or sardines. And you want to use a sliding sinker. Make sure you put your bait on right, and you should be able to catch a limit pretty easy. So striper fishing around our area is really, really, really good. I was out there spooning, but there's a lot of guys out there that are trolling, and they're still catching them. They're pulling the Yozuri deep divers with the trick worm on the back, and I'm actually basically using a Blade Runner 2-ounce spoon and just vertical jig. And I see them on the graph. If you follow my Facebook page, I post the pictures. You can see my graph. It's got so many fish on there. And I took J&J Tackle with me, and they've never done it. And they just kept dropping it down and hooking them. And, you know, and I was helping them land the fish. And for the first 15 minutes, I didn't even put my lure in the water, and they already had our limit in the live well. So the fishing has just been off the hook down there. And you can catch them many, many different ways, whether you want to troll or you want to jig or whatever you want to do. Kokanee fishing. New Malonis, off the hook. Kyle Wise, who guides up there, he leaves his boat there because of the decontamination thing. They don't have a center that is decontaminated like Beressa, because Beressa, if you wanted to come here, you could call, make an appointment, come up here, decontaminate your boat, cost you like $100, and you could just launch and go. And then you could keep coming back here as long as you don't go anywhere else. New Malonis, they don't have one. So you take your boat up there, they put a tag on it, it's red, and they said, okay, see you in 30 days. Hey, look at this rod. You got a fish here. Look at this. You got one. Hurry up, reel that thing. You got him? He got him. So anyway, the new Malonis is on fire right now. And the kokanee, he's been getting up to 17-inch kokanee. And limits are ruled before 9 o'clock. It's just crazy. Where'd it go?
This is the smallest kokanee I've ever seen in my life. He's red. It's transparent.
He lost.
Transparent.
He's a rookie. You know,
Oh my God.
he ain't been doing this very long. You know, he's actually hired me to
How
teach
many
him.
have I caught today? Thank you very much. How many have I lost today? This is the first one.
So anyway, limits are the rule at New Malonis. And then Buller's Bar. If you want to go kokanee, I would recommend going to Buller's Bar. Pulling the same thing like hoochies. You know, we got all our kokanee stuff on here, and we're catching the heck out of king salmon. So, you know, what the heck? How do you know? All right. Other things in the Sacramento River are shad. They're starting to show up in pretty good numbers. It's early yet, so like the best spots are like at below the Freeport Bridge. And then another good spot is at the confluence of the American and the Feather River. Little chartreuse or pink 1-inch champagne grubs have been one of the hot tickets. And then a lot of guys are using sabiki rigs now, but remember, you only can have 3 hooks. So they take a sabiki rig, put the sinker on the bottom, and cast it out. So I would start with, you're going to anchor your boat up, and I would start with like a 1/2 ounce, put it on there, cast it out as far as you can, lock it, put it in a rod holder, and it'll go down, but it won't go all the way down the bottom because the current will keep it up. And then once you find the right weight, then I would go to 3/4 ounce and then a 1 ounce. And then once you find the right weight, every time you cast it out, you're going to catch one. And the limit is 25, and they're actually really good table fare if you smoke them. So anyway, the shad season is just starting right now. And, you know, this first run of fish usually go up the Sacramento River. They don't go up the American. The American River fish come up later. Trout. The opener up in the Sierras was really good. It snowed the first couple of days opening weekend, but the fishing has been really red hot. Other things, Beressa, Big Nate's still been catching a lot of Eagle Lake trout here at Beressa. We caught some today, but Collins, Amador, your mother lode lakes are still good because the weather's still cool. But the Sears, if you're going to go up there, it's probably a better bet up there. Pardee and Comanche are still closed, no watercraft at all, not even a canoe or a kayak. You can rent a boat there, and I don't think they're planning anymore. I think all the mother lakes are going to stop planning. Bass. Lakes are on fire. This is the time of the year. This is what we call pre-spawn, and the fish are shallow, and they're pretty easy to catch. They're really vulnerable this time of the year. So if you catch one of them big females, release them because those are the ones that have the babies. Berries has been on fire here for over a month, way over a month, and they're still doing really well. Denise was here last week and she caught 40, and I told her, that's not very many. You should have caught 80, not 40. But the bass are shallow. They're getting ready to spawn. A lot of the fish aren't spawned yet, so you might want to come up here. Don Pagnelli, good friend of mine, he actually guides up here, and he guides everywhere. But with the mussel thing with the golden mussel, he come up here at Berryessa. He had to choose somewhere because he could be able to get in the lake without having to pay the decontamination fee or waiting the 30 days before you go. Because like if you went to Folsom, you have to take your boat there, they red tag it, and then you can't come back for 30 days. You're not going to fish for 30 days? Come on, that's crazy. So until they get all this stuff figured out, these guys that guide, they have to pick certain lakes and then they have to stay there. So Don is actually at Berryessa. He's been coming up here quite a bit and catching the heck out of the fish. Folsom, still closed. I think it opens back up in maybe the 12th or the 14th. Um, and a friend of mine has his boat at the marina there, so he can still go. And he's been killing them. I mean, the bass fishing to him has been off the hook because he's the only guy there. So, he's just lucky. Clear Lake, Clear Lake this year has been crazy off the hook. It's been taking 40 pounds to win a tournament for 5 fish. And it's getting a little bit slower where it only takes like 35 pounds, but still, come on, 35 pounds for 5? Ridiculous. The Delta's been very good. A lot of the fish, when I go up to Snodgrass, they're all spawned out. But the ones that are on the other side, on the west side, have not spawned yet. So, I'd say half the fish are spawned and half of them aren't. So some of the areas you fish accordingly. When I go on the fish that are post spawn, that are already done spawning and they're back get active after maybe a week or two, then I chase them a little differently. I like the lower tides, and I'll go out in the grass, throw buzz baits and stuff like that, and they're just ready to chomp because they're really hungry. Crappie, the crappie has spawned up here at Berryessa. It slowed down a little bit. People were catching them real shallow. I know Clear Lake, they're still catching them shallow because they all haven't spawned there yet. But Berryessa, it looks like a lot of them spawned and they actually started to move down in deeper water. I caught 3 today trolling for kokanee out here in the middle of Timbuktu in 120 feet of water, and they were 40 feet down. This is crazy. They're just chasing the bait just like every other. Delta, you could probably catch them, find the dead end sloughs, go into a marina, you could probably get them. There's some summer steelhead still in the American River. Um, I know Austin Wilson and Kyler Perry have been taking clients out, and they've still been catching them. And then they're going to be doing the stripers and the shad here real quick. But if you want a last minute steelhead, give one of them guys a call. They've been catching them. So anyway, if you guys need any boat repair, electronics, want a new boat, go over to see Gone Fishing Marine. Tell Mark that I sent you over there, and he'll probably give you a good deal. Every Saturday morning, I'm on California Sportsman's Radio on 1140 on the AM dial. I'm on at 640. The first of every Saturday of the month, I'm in the studio. And then I also give, reports, let you know if anything else happens in between now and then. Don't forget, I'm still doing the consulting on electronics. I've been very busy. Every week I've been doing 2 or 3 of them. And what I do is I jump in your boat or whatever, and I go over all your electronics for you, from A to B, let you know about everything that you would never read in a manual or see on any kind of videos. And I'm also doing specializing in, like, if you wanted to learn how to catch salmon, like I'm doing with Roger and Denise today, teaching them how to do it. I show you all the basics, show you how speed, what you need to look for on your electronics, how to bait your hook, how to set your leaders up. Because these guys,
you give discounts.
these folks don't know too much. So I'm trying to, I'm just trying to help them out.
Listen to this.
It's all about having a good time. We're having a ball out here, and they'll never admit, but that's the only reason they come with me, because they want me to teach them some secrets. So anyway, if you like the video, hit that like, please subscribe, and if you want to leave me a comment, I'll get back to you in a couple of days. If you want to contact me, my cell number is 916-761-7594, and I'll see you guys next week.